So going into the 2024 season, I wasn't really knowing or expecting really much from this New Orleans Saints team. Um, to be honest, like you had Dennis Allen as your head coach in his second year as the Saints head coach, his second head coaching job overall. I wasn't really expecting much from this team. To be honest, I'm like, Dennis Allen's a bit overrated as a head coach. He's a good coordinator as a coordinator, but as a head coach, I just don't rate him. I think he's quite overrated. And then ultimately, you look at, they had a 2-1 start to this team. 2-1 start. They didn't get a quarterback in this draft again, which again, you're looking at this, and again, they needed a quarterback. You had Derek Carr, who is still the quarterback. Again, he's a decent level quarterback, but he's not going to be the quarterback that's going to get you to the championship games, to actually appear at Super Bowls. He's a decent hand to have, but he's not going to win you a championship. So ultimately, you needed a quarterback, and you did not address the quarterback position. So Dennis Allen, after he beats the Cowboys 44-9. He beats the Cowboys 44-9, and then beats the Panthers, the Seahawks. So again, he has he has some pretty good wins, but ultimately he gets fired. But again, what I want to know is why the hell is Mickey Loomis still part? Why is Mickey Loomis still the GM to this team? Mickey Loomis is the guy that's assembling this Saints team, that is hiring the fucking head coaches. Again, he's part of that old Sean Payton regime. He's been there for over 20 years, and again, yeah, he did maybe done well with like a Drew Brees and getting Sean Payton coming into the Saints. But what has he done fucking lately? It's kind of, what have you done for me lately? And lately, past the Drew Brees and even during the Drew Brees and Sean Payton era, like apart from that Super Bowl they won back in 2009, from 2010. What else did they? They haven't really got to a Super Bowl since then. Since that time period, they haven't. They was fourth in the NFC South, 5-12. You had Darren Rizza as your interim head coach. You won 3, lost 5 to end the season. There's a lot of holes, especially in this Saints team. You definitely need a quarterback. Absolutely, you have to address the quarterback position. Edge, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line, cornerback, defensive line. There's a lot of really things that you have to address, but quarterback has to be one, and you have a first round pick. But again, if you're in the game for tanking, if you're going to actually tank and understand the assignment, which again, Mickey Loomis doesn't understand your fucking assignment because he's still part of this fucking Saints organization. Why? Again, see, at the end of the season, if you want a whole clean out, Dennis Allen's gone, you're going to have Keelan Moore, who you've hired from the Eagles. You hired an offensive-minded head coach. Fantastic, you're on the right thing. But again, you didn't fire Mickey Loomis. He is the guy that's actually, he is creating this team. He's building this team, and he's fucking up the team every single time in the free agency and in the draft. The Derek Carr thing hasn't worked. The Dennis Allen head coaching thing didn't work. Now again, the whole Keelan Moore thing. Again, he's an offensive coordinator. He came from the Nick Sirianni learning tree. Super Bowl offensive. He's a Super Bowl winning offensive coach. So again, fantastic. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl this season. So again, that's fantastic. But you look at this team. Alvin Kamara has been part of the Saints for too long. Move him on. Cedric Wilson Jr. not good enough. Move him on. Duran Johnson, move him on. But again, you've got other guys like Isaiah Foskey, Brees. You've got Brian Brees, and then you've got Kool-Aid as well. And then Chris Olave really was injured for a lot of the season. I'm a fan of Chris Olave, but he was not he was missing for most of the season, let's be honest. Rushing yards, it was 40 out of 32. Points for 24 out of 32. Passing, bottom of the barrel for passing, 27 out of 32. Derek Carr, 2,145 passing yards. You had Brian Brees, who had 7.5 sacks. But they need to get a Shedarius Sanders again. If you're going to trade up and get yourself a Shedarius Sanders or a Cam Ward and see what you have. Or maybe you can find something like a Sam Darnold, or you can go for a Baker Mayfield. But knowing this Saints organization, they ain't going to get somebody in the draft. They're probably not going to go for like a Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold. They're probably going to go for like a wash Russell Wilson. They have 48 million in cap space, so again, if you move a couple of these additions on, like I said, if you move Alvin Kamara and a couple of these other guys on, if you can get Chris Olave healthy for the 18 games of the season, then you know you got a pretty good team there. You could actually turn things around, but there's a lot of holes in this team, especially offensively, defensively. It's just a whole mess, and it's not going to get any better because Mickey Loomis is assembling his team. So it's going to be more meteoric Saints football, baby. He was 5-12 and but last in the NFC South. First time that's happened since 2008. But it's going to be continuing the same year in the dumpster fire division with the Bucks, with the Falcons, with the Panthers, and yeah, it's just what it is. It's another year of Saints football, baby. Hopefully Keelan Moore can actually turn it around, but I don't know.